So I know this isn't necessarily a fair assessment because this is already several years in the making, but you know, talk a lot about, building a skill and then reinvesting the money that you make into a product. So for the most part, when I come home from work, and there have been nights where I've just stayed at the office until very late. But when, basically over the course of the last several years, kind of have gotten set up to where we have a team that's pretty much located throughout the world. Um, it's almost 24/7, from about um, on a typical day, like from around 10 p.m. Eastern to maybe 2 a.m. Eastern, those 4 hours, nobody's really working. There have been times where we've needed to get extra work done, and there's some people in India that we use, and they'll usually start around 10:30 at night Eastern, so then that becomes almost a 24/7 operation. So at the end of the day, what I basically do is I come home, and for the most part, it's reviewing the work that people did earlier in the day. So for the most part, people start around 3 a.m. Eastern, and they usually work till around noon Eastern time, roughly. And then so I review what they did throughout the day. We manage everything through Notion for that. All of the software development is ran through Asana. And then now we're kind of at the point with software where we have enough people and enough foundation built over the last 18 months to where usually there's some sort of bug, question, feature, clarification, or release for me to come home and test. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to finish reviewing a couple of things that other people have sent or completed throughout the day. We're then going to sit down and we're going to test the latest build, version 76 or release 76, internal release 76, and just QA/QC it. The way I QA/QC it right now, obviously this is everyone's software product is different, but this is related to 3D modeling. I pretty much just film the whole thing. So I turn on the screen recorder. I walk through all the steps. I walk through all the logic. Why'd I click this? This doesn't look right. This is confusing. This is exactly what I did. This isn't working. This didn't come in correctly. Why can't I get out of the screen? Why did this get stuck? All of those kinds of things. So there's no filter. It's just straight. Most of the videos are 5 to 20 minutes of just straight testing. So there's a couple big things that I think we can accomplish now with the latest release. So I want to really get into those and get those tested. I think what I'll do is I'll probably forego watching most of the Ohio State game on Friday so I can spend time uninterrupted and really put it through its paces with the new release. If the new release is as good as I think it is, then we should be able to really skill out a certain workflow that not that we haven't been able to do, not that we haven't done, but is time consuming, and this would really help speed up the process and unlock some new potential for us. Even more so in the future, if there's a few things that we can do that involve interacting with other 3D models that are not directly produced within the same file, if that makes sense. What's often called coordination. But I want the model to see it for itself, not me have to tell it that to look out for certain things. I guess the best way to explain it. So let's get into it.